All right, carrying a yoke. Got a yoke here, about 180 pounds, just the yoke itself, and I have another 180 loaded on it for a total of about 360, 365. This is going to be an event in I think this would be event 10 in the 2015 CrossFit Games. The first time you're seeing a yoke carry. Carrying a yoke is actually pretty simple. You just have to be aware of a few different things. First of all, the crossbar, all right? You want the crossbar set up to a height where once you load it on your back, and you're gonna load it just like you would load a high bar back squat, once you load it on your back and you come to full attention, or you stand up straight, you want about 10 inches off the ground. That's going to prevent, or at least help prevent, once you go forward or back and forth, that the yoke itself doesn't tip and dig into the ground. Okay, so essentially, I have the bar already set up for my height. It's a little under shoulder level, right, cutting the middle of my chest. So when I get under, I want to set myself up. I like to set myself up in a staggered start. If you see, one foot is about even with the yoke and one foot is behind. I usually start with my right foot taking a step to just about even or just in front of my left foot. And that's, I see some people, they like to start actually with their feet even, and I'm going to say that's a preference, okay? So you're going to set your bar up, and you want to be able to lift it up. Now that's about maybe 8 inches off the ground, all right? That's really all you need. If you feel a little bit more comfortable, you can set it even lower to get the yoke up higher off the ground. All right, the other thing you want to do is with your feet. You want to make sure that your feet are about hip width apart, right? You don't want to get too narrow here, okay? Because essentially your first step is going to be, narrow. You're walking a tightrope, and the yoke is going to teeter-totter either way. I'll try to simulate that. So if I set up narrow, already the yoke is teeter-tottering all over the place, okay? What else? And just in general, okay, your first few steps are probably the most important steps in the yoke carry, although all of them are. What you want to do is, once you're up with the yoke, okay, you want to have those first steps be short and choppy, okay? And I'll do a couple of demonstrations without the yoke or an unweighted yoke just to show you. But you want the first step to be choppy, the second step, and then you're walking like you're on train tracks, basically. So you want to kind of walk like a Frankenstein walk, very choppy, very short, but very, very fast, okay? What you do not want to do is run with the yoke, okay, or start out really fast, because here's what will happen. Let's see if I can simulate that, okay? You want to get the yoke up, start, and see, I couldn't even get it off the ground. Basically, the faster you start, you'll leave the yoke behind you. All the weight is going to be behind you. You'll dig right into the ground. You won't go anywhere. So my suggestion would be, the first thing you want to do is lift and then step, okay? And again, those first few steps need to be short and choppy. And then as you get out, you can widen them a little bit, but they should always be, kind of like that. Now, the best thing you can do is, if you do start to teeter, set it down right away, okay? Set it down, reset yourself. When you're lifting it, don't lift forward as you're coming forward here. You want to lift straight up and then step. And then the last point, again, I'll make is, once you stop, right? You're walking, you want to set the the yoke down and keep moving forward. You leave the yoke behind you because the yoke will have a tendency to come forward, might hit you in the back, might hit you in the back of the head, and that's a no-no. All right, so I'm gonna do a couple of demonstrations without the yoke and maybe with an unweighted yoke, all right? All right, so one more thing else I wanna mention is your hand placement on the yoke. And again, I think this may be a matter of preference. I actually like to have my hands actually on the crossbar. It feels comfortable, it feels familiar. This is how I squat. As a matter of fact, my hands are about exactly where I would squat a bar, maybe just a little bit wider. So I like to set up on the bar just like this, as if I'm doing a back squat, okay? Now, another option would be to have your hands on the uprights, all right? Now, this is something I've seen done before. It can give you a little bit more control of the yoke from side to side. The downside I see is that you can't stay as tense in your upper back and in your core as you could when you're tight with the bar while holding a crossbar, as you would in a back squat. But again, it is an option. If the weight feels light and you want more control from side to side, then by all means, grab the uprights, okay? But again, a matter of preference. You'll have to feel that out.